Hello, this is Harry Hobson, President and CEO of Plymouth Harbor.
And I'm Karen Novak, the Administrator for Strategic Health here at Plymouth Harbor as well.
Karen, I thought it was important for us to at least do a brief update today. And I'd like to cover two major areas. First of all, the COVID campus update, if we could do that. And then I think we'll go in the format you and I discussed earlier, and that's responding to some frequently asked questions. And for today, we've got about 5 of those. And we're going to encourage people to either email me or you in the future with questions, and we'll try to include those in our video updates. So, campus update.
You know, it's so nice to begin with no positivity, whether it's in our teammates or our residents. We have nobody that's positive here at Plymouth Harbor. We do have 2 people that are under observation, and we have 1 team member in the ALF memory care area whose child is actually positive. So we've got that person off and keeping an eye on that person for 14 days. But we also have a community resident that was admitted, and by CDC guidelines, we have to kind of keep that person under observation in the Smith Care Center. So we're doing quite well, Harry.
We really are. It really feels like we're turning that corner. All you have to do is look around the campus, the wonderful programs that Summer and Ann have been putting on through our wellness and programming department. We had 2 ballets by the Bay performances here this past week, and it was so nice just to see the people out and enjoying some activities again. It was really wonderful. And I know that's going to continue. The same thing with dining services. I was so pleased to see, I believe it was East Garden Colony. They had their monthly social. They reconvened that in our cafe this week. And once again, lots of smiles and laughter. So it's all good.
We begin anew.
Absolutely. Some frequently asked questions. I'm going to work through a couple of these. Let me pose the first one. When the person says, when will we be able to invite guests for dinner in the Mayflower dining room?
Well, beginning Monday, the 24th of May, we actually will allow guests to come into our lunch environment in the Mayflower dining room. Now, we don't have as many people in the Mayflower at lunch as we do for dinner time. So the dinner guests will be allowed to come in on July 2nd. We know that's just a little bit of time away, but there are many pieces to this puzzle that we have to have in place to make sure it's a success for everybody who is in attendance in the dining room.
Karen, we know we have several residents that have what we'll call personal assistants, such as independent housekeepers, massage therapists, etc. The question is, when will some of us be able to bring in our personal assistants?
This has been a really intense question because a lot of you have asked this, but you know, they can come in. They just have to follow the same guidelines that our visitors do. That means they've got to come in through the screening, actually at the tower door, go through that process and make sure that they successfully pass all those questions. And then if they are vaccinated, they can come directly up to your apartment and do whatever task you have an agreement with them to do. But if they're unvaccinated, we're going to ask that they keep that mask on, not only in the common areas, but in your apartment as well. That's just to keep everybody safe here at Plymouth Harbor.
Okay. Once again, I will remind our residents and team members that if you don't already have the splash, you will be receiving it. It outlines everything that we're talking about during this video update. Karen, the next one is, can children visit and moreover stay the night?
Yes, all your grandchildren can come and stay the night with you. We ask that they have that adult supervision if they're very young and they're not just kind of going from place to place without being supervised. We want to remind you that they too have to follow those same guidelines that our visitors do. They have to don their mask if they're unvaccinated, and they can go in the common areas except the Mayflower dining room. And if they are fully vaccinated, and again, fully vaccinated means 2 weeks post whatever dose whatever vaccine brand that they're using 2 full weeks after they've received that last dose. But they indeed can come, stay with you, and you can have that incredible time with them.
Karen, as a reminder, maybe to me, what's the age cutoff now as far as those that are not yet eligible to receive the vaccine?
Sure, Pfizer has just been approved by the FDA for 12 to 15-year-olds. So at 12 and older, that's a vaccine. We do anticipate the CDC, NIH, and the FDA giving approval later on this year for younger children. But as of today, 12 to 15 is the youngest that Pfizer has given the approval for.
Good, that's a great reminder. Thank you for that. Speaking of reminders, I know we've covered this before, and I think this question will continue to come up, and that's okay. It's one of those questions you really don't deal with until it's time to do something, and that has to do with travel.
Right.
Okay, so can you just give us a briefing one more time on travel guidelines?
For that fully vaccinated person traveling international or domestic, there is no self-quarantine upon your return. Now, if you're going to travel internationally, we ask that you have to have that COVID test at least 72 hours prior to returning to the United States. And then once you land, 3 to 5 days after you've returned from an international travel, that you do get COVID tested here in the United States. But there is no testing for that domestic, fully vaccinated traveler.
Okay, very good. And we're pleased to respond to that as many times as we receive those questions. And once again, this will appear in today's splash.
Sure. And if you do have questions, go ahead and pick up the phone and call me at 510. I'm here. But probably more important than myself, call your airline, see if they've got any real specific criteria that they might have to have you complete prior to your departure from the United States.
Right. We've got two major capital projects been going on for some time. And for those that are not quite as familiar, and you can see the rendering behind me of the Plymouth Harbor campus. And the first one has to do with our investment in safety, and that is that we are literally have started to replace every window on this campus with hurricane grade windows. And thus far, as you can see behind me, except for the tower, that's our 25-story building, the windows have now been replaced. Now our new structure, which is the lighter colored building behind me, that's our Northwest Gardens building, that was built just 3 years ago, and that is up to hurricane grade. So at this point in time, and as far as an update on the window project, we are now working on the tower. And the tower, we had to take a pause in that project. We are remobilizing very, very soon. So for the residents who've been asking the question, that project should be in full activity by August 1st, 2021. Now, we'll be remobilizing and resetting some of that staging probably about 10 days before that. So that project, you'll see a lot more activity out there by August 1st. Now, the good news is our elevator renovation project in the tower. We've got 3 elevators in our tower, and those have been basically replaced, totally rebuilt, and that takes quite a while to do. The good news is that we will be making an announcement early next week that our final elevator will be open, and that project will officially come to conclusion early next week. So stay tuned for that good news. I know people are going to be happy about that. We talk about communications here on campus. I was so pleased, and I think the residents were as well. I resumed a cafe chat this past week. I really wanted to get I'll call it the class of 20 and 21 of new residents who moved to Plymouth Harbor. And normally we all know each other very well by this time. And we haven't had the opportunity to do that. So with my cafe chat this past week, we had, quite a few residents, and our team members came together and we had some fine exchanges. And I think most of all, it was an opportunity to really get to know each other. Very excited about that. I will resume my cafe chats on about an every 4 to 6 week basis. And that the next one will occur late June. So stay tuned, and that'll be opened up to the campus at large. For those that are not familiar, it's really an opportunity for some informal dialogue with our residents and our team members. And I know I enjoy those very much. On a little more structured basis, this Tuesday, the 25th at 10:30 in the morning, we're going to be doing our quarterly resident meeting. And what we'll be doing there is having up to 55 residents in our theater live. We'll be Zooming live, and then we'll be putting it in our in-house channel on our website, also in the portal. Now, the primary focus of that is the annual meeting where we go through emergency preparedness. Right around the corner is hurricane season that will run, as you know, June 1st through November 30th. So we really have some very well documented, executed plans, and we will review those in detail with our residents during that meeting. We'll take questions and answers as well. And I think when after you see that video or you experience a meeting, there's no question, I think people feel a great sense of security. So that is coming up 10:30 this coming Tuesday, May 25th. Again, an opportunity to interact firsthand with so many of our residents. So Karen, I'm just looking over my notes here, and I don't have anything else on my agenda.
Well, can't think of a thing. I think we're doing really well.
Okay, then why don't you bring us to conclusion?
Absolutely. We want to remind you, please wash your hands quite frequently during the day. Hit those high contact areas with those antibacterial wipes. But most importantly, we want to say, take care of yourself. What did you do special for yourself today? You know, we've been through something really intense this last year and a half. So if you find yourself run down, please make sure you're taking care of yourself. If you find yourself coming down with a cold, please don your mask and come on down to home care, and we'll be sure that we do swab you. So know that when you're out in public too, if you feel the need to wear your mask, go ahead and put that on. Again, it's a wonderful tool to protect you. It's a wonderful tool to protect those that you love. I know, Harry, when I'm out at Publix and CVS, I'm still wearing my mask.
I do the same thing. And when I leave my office today, I'll be donning my mask as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Karen, and everybody have a great day.
Bye-bye.